Welcome to Spirits and Screams.
Hi, I'm back. I know I was away for a little while. I was winding down a day job that was consuming my existence, and I just didn't have any energy or really time to hang out with you guys anymore. And so I knew if I kept going that path, it was going to just destroy me. And I made a change, a good change. I have a different job, and it's giving me time to hang out with you guys because you guys are my passion. You and my art. I can't see myself not doing those things. So I'm really glad to be back. But one thing that was cool about this other job was sometimes when you're down and out, that's when the creativity really starts to flow. I don't know if you guys have experienced that before, but for me it's that way. And hence the rebrand of my channel. From Ocean Chicks Films to Spirits and Screams. And I asked you guys about it, and a lot of people reached out and said that they thought it was a really good idea. And I'm really happy I did it because what I'm doing now is horror movie stuff. Art, reviews, talking about movies, horror movies. And Ocean Chicks Films started out as an activism channel, actually. I was going to talk about documentaries for saving our oceans and that kind of thing. I'm still very passionate about that in my life, but it just didn't seem to fit the channel anymore. So I decided that since I was using that name for my comic book series, that I thought it would be kind of cool to integrate it into the channel and all my socials. And I reached out to my friend Todd from Max Washington Songs to redo the song, my intro song again. He very kindly said, of course I'll do it. And I'm so happy because I just love it. The one that you just heard, I just love it. And I think it even fits the channel better than the last one did. I just love it. So I can't wait to hear what you guys think about it. And yeah, I've got so much stuff I've had to change over though. My website, my product line, all my socials. I'm still thinking about Patreon and the podcast. It's just so much work that needs to be done to get this going. So it's going to take a bit of time, but I think it's going to be a really fun process to go through with you all. I'm also going to be doing like a Patreon monthly club type of thing where you're going to get, if you subscribe, you'll get every month special artwork in the form of bookmarks and stickers and that kind of thing with a different theme connected to my comic books. You'll get that sent to you every month for free when you subscribe to my Patreon. And lots of other content and that kind of stuff. So I'm getting ready to kind of put that together. Patreon was something that it took me a bit of time to figure out what would work and be a lot of fun for this channel, but I'm going to do that. I am redoing the website. I'm going to be having that up fairly soon. And of course I have to redo all the backing cards and business cards and all that stuff too, but I'm okay with it because I just think the name fits so well. I'm really excited about it, and I'm excited to see where it'll go in the future. All right, let's get into the review of this 2023 Spanish horror film directed by Paco Plaza, the guy that did the Wreck movies. So this is pretty cool. And it's called HERMANA MUERTA, a.k.a. Sister Death. Sister Death from 2023. A novice with supernatural powers arrives at a former convent of the Spanish Civil War that is now a school for girls. The strange events and disturbing situations that torment her will lead her to unravel the secrets that surround the convent and haunt its inhabitants. Directed by Paco Plaza, starring Aria Bedmar. So this movie is a hidden gem for me. I missed it. It slipped right under my radar. But I got to watch it recently and it inspired me to do a review of it. I didn't realize how much it was connected to stuff either, but that's pretty cool also. Beautifully filmed. It's more of a mystery horror, a horror mystery. Just got those kinds of elements to it, but there are jump scares and there is horror in it. It's just a lot more subtle and it's more of a slow burn, but my kind of deal, right? My kind of thing. It's directed by Paco Plaza, who I don't know if you know, but was co-creator of the Rec franchise. So I thought that was really cool too. Then it made me really interested in watching it. It's completely different from that, but it's on another level for me. I really enjoyed it. It's a Spanish film and it's dubbed. I didn't mind that at all. It's exclusively on Netflix and apparently did really quite well around the world. It's also meant to be a prequel to the horror film Veronica, which I'm sure everyone's seen. A lot of people really like that one too. At first I wasn't super blown away by that movie, but I think I was just in the wrong frame of mind watching it. And seen too many things that weekend and it just didn't jive with me. But having watched this one and then rewatched Veronica right after, I really like that movie a lot more than I did the first time around. Very creepy, very spooky. They're very different sort of films. And once again, there's no spoilers in this review. I'm going to keep that separate. You guys can go enjoy the movie after you've watched this if you like, or you can always go watch it first and come back and watch the review. I'm totally cool with that too. I just want to talk about it with you guys. So it starts out, the whole thing's filmed in like a square format on the screen, so I thought that was really different, really fun. And the beginning starts out 10 years prior to the main part of the film, where it's black and white, silent, like 8mm film footage of this young girl on a hill with people all around her, and they all have crosses, rosaries, and they're almost like worshiping this girl. So obviously something's happened with this girl, that she's special, and they're on a mountaintop and she's praying and looking up at the sun, all significant throughout the film. And we learn that she's had a vision of the Virgin Mary, and so they just think she's a miracle and she's seen a miracle, that kind of thing. So they're very much interested in her. Leads to her fame, kind of maybe not wanted because she's very young to be going through that. So quite an incredible thing to have on her shoulders, and she's not really sure if she actually did see what she saw, or if it was something good or something dark, or she's a little freaked out. Ends up growing up, studying to be a nun, becomes a novice, but when she's grown up, we get to 10 years in the future, and she ends up going to this convent. Everything's very white, very beautiful, lots of colors. Very much reminded me of Fulci's Demonia film, although it's very different. It ends up being a lot darker, but similar kind of vibe, in my opinion. And she goes to this convent and she seems very freaked out and unsure of herself. I think it was a way of her getting away from the city that she was in, and having all this attention, maybe getting away from it, not having to focus so much on it anymore, and having people in awe of her, worshiping her, essentially. But it kind of doesn't go that way. Things kind of follow her where she goes, and it gets pretty crazy. But like I said, it's sort of a slow burn. Really develop the characters and the storyline and the feeling of it all. There's lots of really quirky, odd elements to it that don't quite make sense in the moment. It leads up to this finale that's just incredible. It's just like, wow. I want to watch it again, actually, because there's so much going on there that I think I missed a lot of the parts, but really well done. Really beautifully filmed, very artistic. but very creepy and haunting at the same time. And if you're into that kind of stuff, I think you're gonna like this one. Okay, and like I said, the movie starts out before 1939, during the Spanish Civil War, and then we cut to 10 years later in 1949, where Narcissa, that's her name, Sister Narcissa, is going to this convent, essentially to work. It's been turned into a sort of a home for kids that are, you know, low income, down and out, need a place to live. And they're there, all these girls, and the nuns that were in this convent during the Civil War are there. There's a couple of them. And then there's more people that have come in from outside to get jobs there and work, just like Narcissa. And she's there going in to teach these kids, to be a teacher. And so she gets her little space, but immediately there's strange noises and things happen, and she does have visions, so she's kind of psychic. She can see things, but it's a little weird and she can't figure out what's going on. But she hears noises in her room, and her chair in the room flips over all by itself. A little bit freaky. At first I was like, oh, okay, this is fun. Not much going on. It's a little, hokey. But as you go on, it just makes more sense, and it's like, wow. The effects are amazing, incredible, all practical, and yeah, just spectacular, really, really creepy. But you have to give it a chance and kind of get more into the film, maybe the second act, before you kind of see all of that, if you will. But I'm not going to give away any spoilers. So this place is quite strict. The kids are given these tasks and chores, quite big deal jobs to do in exchange for staying there, like room and board. And quite a big deal, like they're doing heavy duty laundry and like cleaning and all this stuff. And so it's pretty strict, this place. And when Narcissa comes in, she is still very much struggling with her faith. She's not really sure whether she should go on to become a nun, but they encourage her to. They think that is her calling, that's her place. So she does confession with a priest, but all we see the confessional, we see her face. All we hear is the voice of this man. So he's the only man in the whole place. It's a little odd. I'm not really sure about that. I'm sure there's some sort of significance to that. But that's what we get. And she's talking about her problems with him, and that she, she's really struggling with the whole thing, and she's having a hard time of it. So she's basically flogging herself, so whipping her back, and fasting. So going through these extreme things to try to stay focused, meditation and prayer and that kind of, but very extreme. Anyway, adds to the creepiness of the whole thing. And we go through, and there's it's kind of a weird place. There's lots of strange things going on, but a lot of it is her visions and things that she's seeing that maybe no one else can see. So you're not really sure if this place is really dark and sinister, or whether it's in her mind, or whether she's kind of crazy. She's not all there, actually. So Sister Narcissa is the holy girl of Parablasco, because she saw visions of Mary. So she's this special person, which I'd said before. And she ends up in her room. She starts exploring, because she's hearing all these weird noises and bumps and sounds. And she finds up in the closet, up on a high shelf, this box. And in it has little trinkets and things that describe to her about another sister, another nun that was in this place before, called Sister Socorro. And that kind of sparks off the whole secret that's going on in this place. But I'm not going to say what it is or any more of that, because you have to watch the movie to see. But that's what sparks things off. And I told you about the chair flipping over by itself. That happens a few times. And then she also finds a little sort of sketch drawing on the wall of what looks like the game Hangman. And that's kind of revealed as we go. Those things are significant to the story. I forgot to say at the beginning too, all of the nuns are dressed in white from head to toe, all white, not the traditional, the black and white. And it's very beautiful. It's so bright and beautiful, but it becomes very kind of dark and creepy inside of this building. They walk around with candles, of course, to light the rooms, and there's lots of rooms, and there are jump scares in this film, and you kind of go around corners and stuff. It's a little bit freaky, but very beautiful and very breathtaking. I just love that. It's so artistic. Just the way that they look, everything's so clean, and I don't know, it's just gorgeous. And so she's having these visions during the daytime. You can tell when she touches things or sees a room or something, she's having little bits and pieces of stuff from the past that's happening, giving her clues to things, but she doesn't understand what any of it. And she's not sure about herself either, so she doesn't even know if she's crazy or what's happening. But she's also having these violent nightmares at night. They're so freaky and so well done. The effects are just incredible. I'm not going to say what happens, but of course you'll have to watch to see, but really great. I really want to watch it again just to watch her dreams, you know? Just incredible. And then she starts teaching the class, and she's got all the girls and she's teaching them, and they begin to really connect with her, and she loves them, they love her. She's being very strict with them because the building, the place itself is actually quite strict, the convent. And so she doesn't want to get in trouble or do anything wrong, and she's trying to guide them the right way. And they kind of get a little more comfortable with her, and they start telling her about this girl, this ghost girl that's in the building that comes around, and she's sort of in disbelief about it. But anyways, things kind of go down that path, and that's another angle to the story as well. And she teaches the girls about solar eclipses, and there's one coming soon, teaching them that they can't look at directly into it or they'll go blind, and but it's still a very miraculous event and incredible, and they'll be able to kind of experience it and see the darkness happen, that kind of thing. I remember that as a kid in school, and we would shut all the blinds and you know, just put our heads on the desk and kind of watch the darkness kind of happen. Pretty creepy, but that is a significant part in the plot. So I'm not going to say what, but that's a big part of it too. So the idea of that looming and coming over adds to the creepiness. One of the students, a girl named Rosa, she and Narcissa connect together, and because she also seems to have visions as well, and so they're kind of exploring and trying to figure things out together. But like I say, that's all I'm going to say. So many parts to this film I can't talk about, but there's so many parts to it that it makes for such an interesting story. Starts off kind of slow, like a slow burn, but then all of these things happen that come together that are just really incredible. I guess in that way it's a lot like the Rec films, although the Rec films are so much more hardcore, fast-paced, you know, unlike this one, which is a little bit different, but similar flavor, I suppose. Really enjoyable. Overall, the whole story is like this struggle with your faith, finding your faith in signs, and having the devil kind of mess everything up, and that sort of journey through life. And I love that so much. I love when that's kind of portrayed in a film, because I feel like that's what I've gone through in my life, and I just think it's really neat how he did that here. I'm not going to give away the ending, of course. There's so much stuff that happens, but it does flip to modern day after this, and we get a feeling of the start of Veronica, the film. So the two are kind of interconnected. A little bit different, but still characters that pass over to the next film. So Veronica is from 2017, came out earlier, and it's a film by Paco Plaza as well, and it's in the time of 1991, thereabouts, is when it's taking place. And you basically have girls that are a bit older than the girls that were in the previous film, and they essentially do a seance with the Ouija board, and it goes wrong, horribly wrong. Girl becomes possessed, and it's just horrible. And I'm not going to say how the two films are connected, because I think that'll give away the ending of the other film, but they are connected. You'll just have to watch both to find out. So Veronica is a Spanish film as well, like I say, directed by Paco Plaza. And it was inspired by a true life story of Vallecas from 1991, a case where Estefania Gutierrez Lazaro died mysteriously after playing with a Ouija board. Creepy, creepy. I haven't researched that story. I'm certainly going to look it up and do some research about it because it sounds really creepy. If any of you know anything about that story, put it down in the comment section. Let's talk about it. But yeah, these films are really good. I'm really glad he made this prequel, and they kind of go together. Really, really fun. My kind of movie, you know. Slow burn, supernatural horror, beautifully filmed, lots of great practical effects, jump scares, creepiness, a lot left up to the imagination, really amazing characters as well. Just really, really, really good overall. So if you guys have seen them, let me know in the comment section below what you thought. Some of the stuff that maybe I missed, because I'm sure I missed a lot of things. I really feel I need to watch both of them a second time to grasp everything that was going on, because I think there's a lot more there than even what I picked up on the first time around. Yeah, so it's gonna be so fun to chat with you guys. So for my review, I'm giving Sister Death a Spirits and Screams cult classic. I freaking love this film. A 5 out of 5. I thought it was that good. I really enjoyed it. It's one that I'm gonna have to get for my collection, as well as Veronica. I don't think I have that one yet, but I want the both. I want the both. Well, this is so much fun. I really love doing this, you guys. I love chatting with you. I love filming. I love watching the movies. I just love it all so, 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 so much. I can never stop doing this. And you know what? If you like the video, give it a like. Sub to the channel, only if you want to. You know, no pressure there. But I'd love to have you as part of the group because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We got lots of cool stuff coming in the future, and it's really fun talking to you guys. So yeah, and I missed you. I really did. But I'm glad to be back. And I think that's about it for now. I just want to wish you guys a great rest of your evening, and I will see you again really soon. Bye, guys.